Hello guys.
Welcome to your first episode of Ask Your MC! You guys must be thinking it could have been Luther and Narayanan doing
Because
it.
of the name, I don't
But
think
they are
they're
slightly sitting outside and doing their work, and we decided to steal their episode because Yasmin gave us the last spot.
Yeah.
And we are definitely not going to be the ones who are going last. So well, anyways, I am Abhinav, I'm your MCVP Events and Content Design.
And I'm Shell, I'm your MCVP External Relations.
And today the first episode of Ask Your MC will be taken by the both of us.
Yeah.
A lot of MC members haven't been on an exchange. How do you still believe in the product and the way everything is done?
Oh, good. I think I'll answer this question. It's a very valid question to ask, considering we have been talking about exchanges and we talk about the product itself for a very long time. But what I really believe is it's a very different thing. I was a member 4 years back and I was in a portfolio called you guys know about it, OGV. I was doing OGV and I had the same question in my mind. If I have not gone for an exchange, how will I be able to? If I don't have not experienced it, how will I believe in the product and how will I make it happen? But then what I started to realize is it's not just the product, it's what the product does around it. It's leadership development at the end of the day. And I sent 30 odd interns in that term, and I remember everyone coming back and sharing their experience to me, and that is where through every exchange that I did, my belief strengthened little by little by little. Now considering the MC, as you know that we guys have a lot to do and it's very difficult for us to go for an exchange in the term, but I can give you examples of people who have done it before the term and after the term. The MCP of India, Mr. Gurinpal Singh, he was the MCP in 2014 and he went for an exchange before, he went on an exchange to Turkey, and he also went on an exchange after his AI term. The MCVP ODO of 2014, Rakshit, is currently doing a GT in Mexico right now. So there have been examples. Even if I get a chance after my MC term, I'm definitely going to go for an exchange. So it's not about belief in the product, it's about what the product does. The product does leadership development, the product does leadership development, and that is what I believe in and that is what everyone in the MC believes in. So I hope that I answered that question.
The MC members give a lot to ISEC. How does it feel that one day you will have to eventually leave?
So I feel that this question is self-explanatory and a paradox at the same time. Self-explanatory because we are giving our all to ISEC because we wanted to give us something back once we are out of the organization. And how it happens is, say for example, now forget about ISEC. Think of yourself as if you are in a situation X in life in terms of growth, and you want to reach to the situation X plus 1. Okay, in order to reach that situation in your young age, what you usually resort to is the normal methods such as going to college, pursuing a master's degree, probably going and doing an internship in a corporate firm, or maybe working in a startup, maybe going and getting a social experience for a while, helping the communities. Now ISEC, what ISEC does is it gives you all these experiences at the same time, along with putting you in a challenging environment when you're managing a team as a leader or when you're being a part of a team as a member, by subjecting you to different situations such as making quick decisions, understanding the temperaments and mindsets of different people in your team and behaving and taking the team forward according to it. What to teach, it teaches you, it gives you a practical experience of what to do when you're sitting in that client meeting, when you have to come up with spontaneous ideas and you have to seem smart and you have to sell your product, which is not something that is easy to find at this age. And especially even if it is, these are separate experiences. ISEC gives it to you as a package. And if you understand this, for the people who have understood this, they have put their all into ISEC so that the organization can give them back as much as it can. So my only advice, or not even advice, of what we do at the MC is, we know it's a voluntary organization. It is not as well paying as other organizations that have reached this level, because it's a not for profit. But it is about experience. The more you challenge yourself, the more you be productive in your daily life, personally and professionally. So the fact that I'm giving all that I have right now in terms of the time and resource at such a crucial juncture in my youth life is because I trust this organization. I trust the leadership development model of this organization, and I know that putting my time and resources in this organization is going to yield me things that a normal student or a normal student would not have gotten otherwise. So this is the basic concept: is the more you give, the more you get.
How can a team leader ensure high performance and a strong team culture?
You know, this is my question. I'm going to take it and ask Yasmin. You're going to love this. Cool. The answer to it is very simple, and it's right there. It's right there in front of your eyes. It's been sent to you hundreds of times, and I'm going to do it once again. The answer is simple. It's called team standards. Yeah, and you have it with you. It's in the site. It's in the hub. It's everywhere. And there are three things that you have to do: building, performing, and closing. The first thing that you do with your team, but when it comes to building, introducing yourself to the team, talking to them, understanding who they are, setting touch points with them, making goals with them. That's what happens in building. Then you move into performing, where you have team touch points, where you decide, okay, now we're going to have a team meeting today. Keep weekly team meeting, keep weekly touch points. Understand that if they're not performing, what time should you intervene, what time should you not. Take them out for meetings, take them out for team days where you go out, you guys have a nice movie one day you'll sit together and work. Do these things, which it comes in the entire aspect of performing. And then the final aspect is closing. When the term is getting over, you have to make sure you debrief the experience. What do I mean by debriefing? You have to make sure they understand what they got out of this experience, and at the same point of time, you guys have to evaluate each and every one in terms of what they did. This is a team experience in a very simple manner. There is not much that you have to do. There is not much brainstorm. It's not rocket science, guys. It's very simple, and it's right there. Open the resource hub and check the team standards, and you guys will understand. If you still are not able to do it, then there is one last thing that I would tell you, which really worked in my term, is putting your own flavor inside. I like to do certain things. So what I used to do is, we had something called team minimums when I was a LCP and a VP, and what we had was team minimums, and it was very difficult for me because it's written in a piece of paper, but implementation is difficult. What you have to do is apply your flavor there. How do you like to do your team meetings? I really know one guy, Narayanan. I heard that I heard a story recently that this guy used to call. He was a CC he was a CCP, Narayanan, for one of his OCs in Chennai, and one day he just called his team, and he's a good cook, so he made dosas and he gave it to them, and that was the entire meeting. It sounds funny, but you have no. These are small. This is a flavor that Narayanan applied in his term, which created a nice team bonding, and then they had an excellent term after that. So do whatever, be comfortable in your skin. Don't try to be someone else, and please go and apply the team standards, and you will be good. Thank you.
Yay!
What can be done for membership retention, as members say studies is their priority? How can we make them understand about their role?
Okay, I'm going to take this one. It's very simple. So in terms of retention, if you had to talk about retention, it's very simple. You just follow the team standards. You make sure that the personal goal setting is done in the best way possible, so people know what they're here for and what they're going to get by the end of their ISEC journey. That is the best way to make them understand ISEC in context of what they're going to learn from it, and also in context of what ISEC really is and what it does to the world. So that is about how to make them understand ISEC. But in terms of membership retention, if I was to share a personal perspective, why I have continued for the last 4 years in the organization, I would say that it's actually getting repeated from the previous question that I answered. It's because how challenging the work here is. At each and every moment, how I have been challenged in different kinds of things, in different kinds of situations. But my team leaders have ensured that the job roles that I've gotten, and me, I have ensured that the job roles that I've asked for and that I'm into are challenging enough to make myself grow. So this is what is expected from the team leaders and from the team members, to make sure that you guys are growing at each and every point. How do you ensure this is? When first of all, put yourself into challenging experiences, put your colleagues, your subordinates, put your team leaders through challenging experiences, and once you are through these experiences, it doesn't matter if you succeeded or you failed. ISEC is an organization that gives you an opportunity to fail. The most important part is to sit, think, and reflect on what that experience made you learn. If you can do this properly, I think this will give you a basis that is or a reason that is strong enough to make you stay and make your members stay and stay back in ISEC. Yeah, that's my take on this question.
If you want to add something to what Mr. Shell said, I've heard many people talking about studies and studies being a problem, but I know so many people in this organization who have still gotten good grades, and at the same point of time, like Shell said, put themselves into challenging environments. If you guys know Akshay Nambiar, he used to never get less than an 8-pointer or a 9-pointer in his studies when he was studying throughout his LCP term. And yeah, even me, I've never scored less in my graduation. I've never scored less than 70% in any subject. So it's that's just an excuse to give. If you really want to study, you will study, and the idea is to put, like he says, to put yourself into a challenging situation. If the challenge is more interesting, then no one will leave the organization ever.
Yeah, and both can be done at the same time. Just keep going ahead with your studies, but at the same time, know what ISEC can give you. Put yourself into through those situations, and yeah, you can be the best of both worlds.
Like me and him.
Almost.
Alright guys, thank you so much for being a part of today's Ask Your MC. Stay tuned. We guys will be coming up with one more Ask Your MC next week. So just, if you have any more questions, just go to the link over here and you can ask all the questions that you have for the next week's episode. Also, if you want to follow me, you can go here. If you want to follow Shell, you can go to where Shell. Okay, cool, awesome. So
Alright,
stay tuned.
just one more thing. Also, do not forget to attend the daily webinars that the MC has been hosting. The links are being posted on ISEC in the internal group and MC India page. Keep following us for daily and regular updates, and see you soon. Hasta la vista.